Hey guys, happy Math Monday. This week we are going to be working on volume and finding the volume of different, well, not really different shapes. We only do rectangular prisms. So this should be pretty much a review of what you've done. One thing that is different but still the same is the way that the formula looks on your star math chart. If you see the formula now is V equals capital BH. It is the exact same as what you've always done to find volume: length times width times height. We now take the length times width out and combine that to make the base. You're finding the area of the base of the shape and then multiplying it by the height. We do that because eventually when you find the volume of other three-dimensional shapes like prisms or like triangular prisms, pyramids, you're going to have to find the area of the base of the object and multiply it by the height. So that's why we're going ahead and learning this formula to be capital BH instead of length times width times height, which you've always known it as. Remember, volume is how much is needed to fill a 3D object, how much will fit inside a three-dimensional object. So here is a rectangular prism. All sides are going to be rectangles. So whenever we put the name of the figure, we'll just put rectangular prism. We can abbreviate because it's kind of long to write. Okay, the formula, we're going to use V equals capital BH. Because that is what the formula is going to look like from now on. You can still think of it as length times width times height, even though that's not what it says. When we write on the show what you know, we're going to list it as length, width, and height, so you'll know what numbers you need to multiply together. Okay, in this example, the length is going to be 30 centimeters. The width is going to be 10, and the height is 25. So length is 30, width is 10, height is 25. When we plug that into the formula, we're going to put V equals, we're finding the area of the base. So we're going to multiply 30 times 10 times 25. So still multiplying length, width, and height. Again, separating it with parentheses, not using the multiplication sign. So when we work it out, we're multiplying 30 times 10 times 25. Because we're multiplying, we can change the order of the numbers. If you want to multiply 30 times 25 first and then multiply it by 10, you can do that. Whatever order you want to multiply them in, because of the commutative property of multiplication says you can change the order of the numbers. I'm going to multiply 30 times 10 first and get 300. And then I would multiply 300 times 25. 25 times 3 is 75, and add 2 zeros. So the volume of that rectangular prism would be 7,500 centimeters. And we're talking about volume, so it's going to be cubed, or to the third power. So instead of squared like we did with area, it's now going to be to the third power or cubed. All right, let's do another example. Okay, this time, if you look at this rectangular prism, all of the dimensions are the same. So this is not only a rectangular prism, it's more specifically a cube, because cubes have all the same size sides. The lengths of the sides are all the same. The volume formula is still going to be the same. Capital B, H, area of the base times the height. Okay, so we know that the length is 5 feet. The width is also 5 feet. And the height is 5 feet. Plug it into the formula. 5 times 5 times 5. Work it out. 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 is 125. So the volume would be 125 feet cubed, or to the third power. Okay, here is an example with fractions and decimals. Nothing changes except you have fractions and decimals. Still a rectangular prism. It does have different length sides, so it's not a cube. Formula, capital B, H. Show what you know. This is the length. This is the width. This is the height. Length is 6.25 inches. Width is 2 1/2 inches. Height is 3 inches. Plug those numbers into the formula. 6.25 times 2 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and change 2 1/2 to a decimal because we need them all to be in the same form to be able to multiply. Times 3. And then work it out. 6.25 times 2.5. Remember, when you're multiplying decimals, you don't need to line up your decimal, you're lining up your place values. 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. 31, 10, 4, 5, 12. Add it up. Move your decimal the number of places behind the decimal in the problem. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 15.625 times 3. And move your decimal the number of places that are behind the decimal. There's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 46 and 875 thousandths would be the volume. Don't forget to put your unit of measurement. and the label cubed. So even if you have fractions and decimals, you still solve it the exact same way. Just make sure you follow your decimal rules. Okay, something else that you're going to need to know how to do is to find the missing parts. You are going to have the total volume of an object, and you're going to either have the length, the width, or the height, and you have to find the other missing parts, or the other missing part. You'll have the length and the width, and you have to find the height, or you'll have the width and the height, and you have to find the length. So if we're looking at this juice box, it tells us that the volume is 144 cubic inches. It gives us the length, it gives us the height, and we have to find the width. So we're going to have to work backwards. We know the formula is area of the base times the height. We know the volume already. So we're going to put 144 in the V's place. We know the length is 6. We don't know the width. We know the height is 12. So 6 times 12 times W has to equal 144. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 6 times 12, which is 72. So now we know that 72 times W has to equal 144. We're going to solve the equation. We're going to isolate the variable. To get the W by itself, we need to divide, because this is multiplication, both sides by 72. 72's cancel each other out. That leaves W. So we've isolated the variable, and we divide 144 by 72, and we get 2. So that means the width is 2 inches. If you multiply 6 times 2 times 12, you would get 144. So you're isolating the variable to find out what the variable is equal to. Okay, here's another example. This time we have an aquarium. The total volume is 900 cubic inches. This time we don't know the length, but we do know the width, and we know the height. Volume equals area of the base times the height. We know the volume is 900. We don't know the length. We know the width is 2 and the height is 15. So some number times 2 times 15 has to equal 900. We're going to go ahead and multiply 2 and 15. That's 30. So 30 times L equals 900. I see multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by 30. I've isolated the variable, and 900 divided by 30 is 30. So the length of the aquarium is 30 inches. And last example, we have a cereal box, and it gives us the width. It gives us the length, and we're missing the height. The total volume is 135 cubic inches. Put 135 for V. We don't know, no, we do know the length. The length is 5. The width is 3. And we don't know the height. 5 times 3 times some number equals 135. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times some number equals 135. We're solving the equation by isolating the variable. We see multiplication, so we're going to divide both sides by 15. 15 divided by 15 leaves us h, and 135 divided by 15 is 9. Fifteen times 9 is 135. So the height of the cereal box is 9 inches. That is all the notes that I have for you. If you would like to print these out, I have attached the blank copy of all of the notes, and you can print them out and work through them. Or if you want to go back and work through them and see if they match the video, whatever you want to do. I'll also post the notes as a PDF, so it has everything on there that you need. If you don't want to work it out as I go through it, you can just print those out so you have the notes to look at. So now you need to complete the Google Slides presentation. This is very similar to what we've done for the past 2 weeks. Make sure that you submit your work that you're showing and the Google Slides presentation. You'll have to attach your work and then turn both of those in to Google Classroom. Hey guys, I miss y'all. I guess I will talk to you next week. If you have questions, don't forget to leave a comment in Google Classroom. You can send a remind, you can email me, and I will do the best I can to help you. All right, see y'all later.